Okay, so we're going to have a quick look at flying a motion controller VR camera through some 3D text created in Maya. So also what I've done is I've just textured this just to check the textures work in the headset, which is Oculus Quest. So I just came up here and I added a mobile starter content pack because it's all low spec textures that work on mobiles. So what I want to do is I want to select my VR pawn and I want to make a cinematic, so I'm going to add a level sequence. So we don't want potato, let's call it fly through 300. Okay, so I just want to get hold of the big VR pawn, and then I want to go to track, and I want to go add the sequencer. And so we want this in seconds, so show time as seconds, so we've got like 5 seconds here. That's about fine. Okay, so I've got the VR pawn selected, and we're at frame 0, so I'm going to press enter. Alright, so it looks like I need to make a transform track, and then let's press enter. Okay, so then let's move this track along to about halfway. Let's get it lined up to about halfway along where we're going. It's okay. Enter, and then it's disappearing after that. Okay, so let's just move it again. So I need to correct that bit, move it over there, move it down there. Let's press enter again. Okay, so we've got a spline, so let's just have a look. I mean, yeah, it's not ideal, but you probably want to put another keyframe in here or over here to adjust the this, because at the minute we're sort of swinging violently over towards the okay, so you want to adjust that obviously, but that is your animation, so let's save that. So next thing I want to do is we want to so as you can note here, there's been a couple of, I was using the camera rails, which I realised seemed to be entirely pointless, so I just need to use a level sequence. So what I need to do is I need to open the level blueprint, and so if you look at your inputs, that isn't the inputs. You'll notice that under the action mappings we've got all the Oculus Quest controls, so we've got grab left, grab right, so we can just use any of these for our trigger, because obviously we want to be in a menu situation where you press the trigger and then you fly through. So so it's input action, isn't it? Input action, if I could just write input action, grab left. Yeah. Okay, so let's just try grab left. Okay, yeah. So it's not input action grab left, that comes in as an input action. So what I'm going to do is I am going to so we've got a level sequence, we want to create a level sequence player. So I want to choose my level sequence, which is fly through 300, and what I want to do is I want to take a reference to this, so I need to get this over here like so, and then get a little reference to our little fly through 300. Okay, so that's just dragging that in so we know what we're going to actually be playing. So if we go over to here and then play 75 million plays, that's the one we're looking for, and then the target is that, and it's converted it to a sequence player. Thank you. So that's wired to that, that's wired to that, that's all good. Yeah. Okay, so realistically, when we press the correct button, get it back to the start. So if we select that, we can actually see. So if I run it in the headset, I'll record the actual headset output, and we'll see if we press the correct button, which should probably take a bit of fiddling on my part. It should just fly through the middle of that air. So yeah, just to point out that you want to be launching from here, and then obviously save everything. And then what should happen if everything's connected is that you should. So I've got my Quest plugged directly into a USB port on my PC, and then it's just deploying it. So eventually we should run through all this, and it will give us a success, and then we can go over to the headset, which I will attempt to capture for you. Okay, so we've got the camera that flies through the air in the takeaway, and so I've just dragged this cylinder in here. So I've just put an object in here, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply a animator texture to this. So we fly along this lovely spline and then through this lovely watery texture, and then it'll load the new level. So first things first, I've just found this nice texture from Timsy. That is Creative Commons reuse allowed, so this is all fine. I've just downloaded this nice watery texture. So next thing is we want to go into our movies folder. As ever, anything we're doing with movies, we want to put it in the content movies, so that it will build that folder when you're building. So what I need to do is just initially drag the underwater texture in. I'm just looking for it. Okay, just drag that in like so. So let's just call this caustics. Okay, and so I also need to, I need to find find this in Explorer. And then what I need to do is I need to just actually drag the caustic video file in. Okay, so I need to make sure that this actual MPEG MP4 is in the movies folder. So what I'll do is, if I double click on this, I can find the it's that, isn't it? I just did it. Okay, so that should be fine. So I've just found the source. We could also pre-cache it if we're being clever, which obviously I'm not. So yeah, I just needed to find the actual media, the root of the directory, so that it knows where to look when it's loading it. So next up, we want to go to media, and we want to go. It's media player. And we want to make a video output. Okay, let's call this caustics. So this should have sorted everything out. Let's just have a look at this. So if I double click on caustics, okay, so we've got the nice video file playing there. Okay, and so next up, what we need to do is we need to I need to drag my caustics texture onto this. It's that I need to drag on. Okay, so it's automatically made a caustics material. So I'm just going to open this caustics material, and then what we need to do here is I need to drag the RGB over to the emissive as well, so that it illuminates itself. Okay, so computer's not liking that much, but let's keep going. So it's not going to play, it's not playing this, so what I need to do is I need to go into the level blueprint. Let's have a look. So we want this to play automatically on level load. So let me just have a look at the open level blueprint. So I should really have. Okay, so I should really just press C and level fly through. So it's really just I just press C to comment this so we know what's going on. I need to add a new variable, and I want to make this this is where we're going to add the variable in for the video. So if I just go to drop down on the boolean, I go to media, not Allegia, media, media player, and then if I compile this, because it's not showing the actual variable, we need to assign that the value. So I can then get hold of my caustics. Is that everything I need to do there? I think so. So let's just call this caustics. So drag that in. So we want to get the caustics as a reference. So we want an event begin play. Okay, so on event begin play, what we want to do is we want to open the media source. So we can actually select the media source here, which is caustics, and I think I also need to put the target in, otherwise it doesn't work. Let's just check. Okay, so let me just grab all of that, press C, play caustics texture. Okay, so let's compile all of that, and let's go back and have a look. If I just play the level, okay, so we can see now in the far distance we have the texture playing. So I can probably, okay, so it'd be nice to make this glow as well, but I'll look at that in a bit. Okay, so if I press, just remembered that you can eject out of the player, so if I press F8, I can eject out of the character, and we can fly through the scene. Okay, so that's working. You might want to change the tiling on that depending on the effect you're looking for, or perhaps completely change the texture and make it something nicer, but that's up to you. Okay, so the last thing I want to do is I want to fly, when we fly through this ghastly looking texture, I want to trigger the new level load. So what I'm going to do is I am just going to place a box trigger into the level. So I just had quite a lot of trouble placing a box trigger in the level. It was letting me put it in, but it had no dimensions to it, and this was quite confusing until I realised that I was still in play mode, so watch out for that one. So in Unity you can set your play mode to change colour when you're in play mode, so that it alerts you to the fact that anything you do in play mode won't be recorded or saved. So I imagine there's something similar you can do in Unreal. I'll have a dig about for that later. So this is my box trigger. So if we go down to, I've got the box trigger selected, let's call it trigger new level, and what I want to do is let's just add a new script to that. Okay, so let's go into my blueprints folder. Yeah, okay, so we want to, on component begin overlap, so I've just selected this and I'm just going to go to on component begin overlap, which just saves a bit of bother. It means it automatically creates this, and then as simple as open level. So let's just go back to my levels. So let's just try first person underwater. So all I've done is I've selected it and pressed Control C because it needs to have exactly the correct name. So Control V, and that should be okay. So I'm just going to try this in VR. So I will attempt to record my headset. Now what's happening here exactly? Some sort of texticular issues, or could be to do with the mesh, some sort of Z fighting. Okay, so I'm just going to try this out and I'll record the in headset footage to finalise all of this.